Grab and dip.
Saying I'm gon' act, yeah, ooh, these do deal shit, ooh, sturdy, he might whip up a whip, yeah, ooh, I love with the money, I cannot love no thought, ooh, I feel in love with the money, yeah, I cannot love no thought, bitch, I feel in love with the money, ooh, I cannot love no thought, yeah, I feel in love with the money, yeah, I feel in love with the top, hey, I had to get to the guap, I got my city on lock, and I'm still rapping the WAP, I get my money in blocks, bitches been coming in flocks. Fuck if you love me or not. My money double like pop. Call me the king of the crop. Yeah, my whole team strong. Pass out rock just like LeBron. You acting like you won. I'm still selling to your mom. Ain't no dust up on my J's. So my bread is way too long. Talk down with rush the stage and leave you dead where you perform. Bitch, I do you wrong. I'm like the devil with no horns. Once I blow your dome, I got the aim like Jason Bourne. Yeah, not kinda moan. Shooting at the rarest form. Here to take the throne. If you ain't with it, you been warned, bitch. Young Super Saiyan, I been the man I'm it, yeah. Ooh, 30 bands gon' activate my wrist, yeah. Ooh, Louis sees through Dior on my bitch, yeah. Ooh, sturdy heat might whip up a whip, yeah. I feel in love with the money. I cannot love no thought. Ooh, I feel in love with the money. Yeah, I cannot love no thought. Bitch, I feel in love with the money. Ooh, I cannot love no thought. Yeah, I feel in love with the money. Yeah, I feel in love with the top. Hey, Young Super Saiyan, I been the man I'm in. Yeah, ooh, 30 bands gon' activate my wrist. Yeah, ooh, Louis sees through Dior on my bitch. Yeah, ooh,
sturdy heat might whip up a whip. Yeah,
Grab your weed.
Hey y'all, welcome back, man. Y'all know what it is, TRBRC podcast. You know, day 8 of quarantine. Hope everybody out there is we're going to address some topics that's real dear and close to home. Um, I got my co-host here. I got Mei Ling Lim, Pretty Flower, 2618. I probably said that wrong.
No,
The
you're good.
numbers.
You got it right. Thank
Oh,
you.
that was right. Oh shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I got my main man, my nigga, my brother from another, Light Illumination.
Salute to y'all. What's going on?
TRBRC.
Yeah, we here. So we talking about the whole situation with public schools, not only public schools, all schools for our children closing. We want to touch on whether this is a good thing, great thing, or a horrible thing, bad thing. Oh yeah, I got DM3 joined the building right here. DM3 Entertainment. Shout out to him. Doing crazy numbers on his Deontay Wilder hating ass video.
Great video. Great video.
I ain't gonna say all that. I ain't gonna say it's a great
Well,
video.
congratulations on it, though.
Hating ass video. But,
But I love y'all though.
Shout out to him.
What's up, y'all?
So
But,
school
yeah.
closures. You want to just jump right in?
Yeah. So, Mayling, yeah. Start us off, man.
All right. Well, for me, for my own personal beliefs for my children, I feel school closures is a great thing. I am now able to control everything that my children are learning, from how to survive in this world when they get older. On top of making sure they're all learning the same thing the same way, here in my home. And I don't like that my kids are held to standardized tests and measures, because children simply learn differently. Um, so I think me being able to be over my kids' shoulder and making sure they're doing the work and instilling work ethic into them, um, it does not allow for them to be lazy. And I think it's a very good thing for my children.
Right. I
Yeah,
believe everybody will have different feelings about this. May not all be same,
Right.
but I love your viewpoint on that because um, go ahead. Yeah, I heard you was about to speak before I cut you off.
yeah. I was gonna say, like what you were saying just now. A
Hmm.
lot of people might not feel that it's a good thing. You know what I'm saying? But now a lot of parents is not like it's not even working at this
Hmm.
time period. Even at my establishment, some parents don't have their jobs anymore, so they don't need our services at this time period. But at the same time, I feel like it's a great thing for the moment because the parents is then going to see, if they want to be a parent or not. And more likely they're gonna wind up feeling more innately to be a parent to their kids and actually give them real education. I'm not saying that the school don't give them education. I feel like the school in general teaches you how to work for somebody else, right?
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
they don't give you real life
Correct.
treatment, like
Real life tools
right
and
now.
tools that they can use to to be, what is it called? To be successful in life. They don't know how to do taxes. They don't know even basic trades.
Right, they don't know how to plant a vegetable. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? It's like going back to like I brought it up in the last conversation we had, like Little House on the Prairie, right?
Hmm.
The girl was just turning 16 and she was a teacher and she was teaching other children, you know what I'm saying? Even though she wasn't fully grown yet, but she was enabling other children to learn and lead by example. But they learn how to farm, they learn how water irrigation work, they learn how to conserve, they learn different things that the school is not going to teach them. And then also the parents are going to get tired of the kids being able to rap a song but not being able to read, especially if the parent can read. Like you can sing all these songs, all these songs. Now I got to deal with you all the time and hear you rap all these songs, but when I ask you to read a book, you don't know how to really read a book. And now you ain't got to worry about going up to the teacher and say, you can't talk to my kid this way. You can't do. Now you got to deal with that, that child. If he was a good child or a terrorist in the school, you're going to have to deal with them and give them
You're
some
right.
form of education. And now you ain't got
Mm-hmm.
nobody to blank one for them not doing their job. Now it's on you as the
Basically,
parent.
basically, parents they got nobody to fall on to blame. They got, and that's the thing about humans. Let's be honest. A natural human reaction is to blame somebody else for your faults.
Yep.
Blame
Right.
somebody else for why you're a failure. Instead of understand that you're going to fail in life, but the thing is not to be sorry, but to be better. DM3, how you feel about schools closing and stuff and how it
And
affect?
you know what? It's more than just school age children. It's colleges, universities are closed down. They've canceled all the graduation ceremonies.
Myself, I would
Yeah,
agree.
that's a little bit different though. When you get to that age bracket, it's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a little bit different because those people may be in a lost state. I'm sorry, DM3. I know you was about to go, but the individuals graduating or in college right now are way different than the kids that's in high school, middle school, elementary school, kindergarten. Because those people are not really going to be looking towards their parents to teach them anything. You know what I mean? And they might not be looking towards learning anything. They might be culturally insensitive already and don't want any lip or any information from nobody. And they only going to college because they had to, and they glad they ain't got to go to college now at this moment.
And they all back at their mommy and daddy's house. Hey, Damon.
Hey, shout out to Day Moon, NRG. Talented,
What's up, Jay?
dope artist. Go check her out, her YouTube. She's in the comments right now on YouTube. By the way, I know some of y'all watching on Facebook, some of y'all watching on Twitch, Mixer, Good Game, Periscope, did I say Twitch? I think Facebook. I don't know. I probably said all that shit. Go check out Day Moon Energy. Dope. Yo, she be taking them Cassidy beats, making classics out of them joints. Go check her out. Yeah, let's get DM3 up in here, man. He been waiting to go. He been patient. That's why I appreciate him, man. Straight Zen master here, man. He wrong on the Deontay Wilder and AJ and Tyson Fury thing, man. He need to get his brain up on that. But other than that, appreciate this man's
What do
wisdom.
you think about
so
this?
Let's let him get in there. Yeah.
What I was gonna say was, I definitely agree with everybody on the panel what they said about the whole thing with the kids being home. It gives the parents that really want to make sure their children are educated can be a part of their life, you know. And then also, it's definitely keeping our youth from being indoctrinated into any kind of way the government may want their minds to be. Because if their minds are and they're free thinkers, and their children will be free thinkers, you know. So I really think it is good at this time.
It really makes me sad for the children who are home and being abused. You know what I'm saying? And now they don't have any outlet. You know, they can't go to school. They don't have anywhere else to go to get away from their situation. So there's a lot to it. You know what I'm saying? That's why I said for my personal, beliefs for my children, I believe it's a good thing. I do know that there's a lot of hardships and other circumstances out there that is not a great idea for them to be home. And it's really sad.
Now, I'm gonna say this on that. At this time period, though, you gotta look at, it's gonna be a convergence because of the hardship. Is the abuse? Like, I don't know what kind of abuse you're talking about because abuse is such a large category, but it is. I believe with the time it's gonna change because it's going to feel a need. It's going to feel a necessity. Like the other day, I seen fathers throwing the ball with the sons, who may not even been able to do that, right. And then the people could be like stressing, like, I don't got a job no more, but you can't go out and get a job because everything is basically shut down. And it's hard to get a job when a bunch of companies is not. So what you going to do?
And right now in Pima County specifically, I don't know anywhere else in the country, but Pima County specifically, they already passed a bill or a law or whatever it is that there's not going to be any evictions during this time. So anything that's gotten, they're not going to court for it. It's not happening.
So are they like putting mortgages and bill, you know what I'm saying, like loans on hold for now?
They're putting everything on hold.
Well, you know what? Then that's a good thing. Then the parents the parents have no excuse not to give the kids all the education they could possibly get, right?
And be there in their life and be present in their lives. You would think so, right? But
now, I believe so.
The biological donor of my 4 young ones doesn't see it that way, and he still could care less to be present in their lives.
No, but see, you talking about external, right? Because he's not an internal entity; he's an external entity. That has nothing to do with it. Like, I'm not talking about external entities, right? I'm talking about internal entities that is dwelling in the same dwelling.
But
So
the thing is, he lives 20 minutes down the road. If you're not working all the hours that you used to be putting in, that means that you now have time to be able to spend with your children, because that was your excuse, was because you were working too much. You were doing all this overtime. Now that excuse doesn't exist anymore. So you would think that you would use that time to put into your 4 children,
no,
but you're
I hear
not.
what you're saying, but it's not that works a little bit differently because that's an adult situation. I
Absolutely.
believe that's not more so a kid situation. That's an adult situation,
Oh, they
and not
call
really
him
having to
every
do with the
single
school
day.
being closed.
They
Yeah.
call him every single day because they know he's not working these hours, so that he can come get them. And it hasn't happened so far.
I was gonna say, let me chime in real quick on that point. Mei Ling is correct. I think any men listening or any men, no men who have kids, they should step up at this time and do something with their children because it's very important for both parents to be involved in their children's lives, even though they don't live in the house with them. Because there's so many things that a man can teach his son or his daughter. So guys listening or guys who know other guys, tell them, yo, take that time and do something with your children. You have no excuses.
No, no, but they do. They going to use an excuse. The excuse is the fear that they propagating out here. I had to stand out my mama's house and talk to her through the screen door. She wouldn't let me in the door. You know what I'm saying? So people minds is going crazy right now. They might not even
That's
come
some
to see
real
their
shit.
kid. They don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? I talk to them on the
Well,
phone. I'm
I
not
under
coming over.
I understand that in
Yeah,
my situation,
your mama not gonna want to be in contact with you at all. You around too many young people.
I just
Right,
Mama
I'm
not
understand.
trying
around
to get that
kids all day.
corona.
I
Mama
understand
not
in
trying to get
my
that
case
corona. She like, no.
that my children, like that he just simply does not want to be a part of their lives. You know what I'm saying? So I understand that.
Finish him.
So, asking him to come get them or arguing with him about coming to get them, it just simply is not going to happen.
But you
You
ain't
know
got to worry
what
about
you
that,
have
mate,
to live
because he's
with.
gonna miss out. He gonna wind up missing out,
Exactly.
and he gonna realize it, and it's gonna be
Exactly.
too late. And he gonna be just like the dad coming to the NBA basketball game, talking about, "Hey son, how you doing?" You know what I'm saying? And that's when because he wants something. That's out of selfishness. See, that's what I'm saying. You gotta worry about, like, when the school being closed, it's about the dwelling. It's not about the outsiders. Like, if the mom is not letting the dad come see the kids, because you want the dad to come see him, but other moms don't want the dads to come. You ain't gonna never see. I don't like your father. You remind me of your father. So that's where some of the abuse come from too, because the son look like the dad, act like the dad. I don't like the dad. He ain't gonna come see you, and I ain't gonna give you the best treatment because I'm mad at him for not whatever. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is, right now in the dwelling, in that household where the kids reside, is the opportunity to actually manifest an education of
Oh,
reality. We're
absolutely.
gonna have to save food.
Yeah,
We're
despite
gonna have
him
to
not
recycle.
coming around, I'm still going to do what I need to do for my kids and give them everything that they deserve.
No. What I'm saying is, in the dwelling, I'm still talking about the schools being closed, and then it's gonna come to the families should learn to teach the kids not to be wasteful. School doesn't really teach you not to be wasteful,
Right.
right? There's no more toilet paper. There's no more nothing in the store. We have to learn how to conserve, so they get in a lesson of
Right.
conservation.
Yep.
Right, they should start to get these. I like that the school is closed because the parents should take the initiative and see the need that they should teach the kids how to fulfill if they're ever in this type of situation. If you ever without food, if you ever wind up homeless, if you ever in a situation, if you can get your hands on some seeds and plant them in the wilderness somewhere, as long as you know how to plant and protect your crops, you don't have to worry about food. If you learn how to build, you can create a place
That,
of shelter. You don't have to worry about getting rained on,
that's
right?
right.
You got twigs, you got all kinds of stuff. People throw away trash bags all the time. You can tie them together and create stuff. Teach them how to create. The school is not teaching them how to create. They teaching them how to follow orders. Teaching them
I
how to
just
be
had this
a follower.
conversation. I just had this conversation earlier with a counselor from the kids' school. I talked to about 5 teachers and counselors and whatnot earlier this afternoon about the kids, and how I'm going to be able to give them the education they need. And I told them, frankly, I am not interested in your guys' standardized way of things.
Right, because in
I need
reality,
to
this
give
is
my
my whole
children
thing is this.
tools to
It's
survive
like this.
in this world.
Math is a wonderful thing, man. You know what I mean? 1+1 =2. But in reality, I will
One
teach
plus
the kids
one
that one plus
can
one
equal
is
more.
more than two sometimes.
Yep.
You don't know what can possibly come from one plus
One plus
one.
one. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know. Because if I take a bucket, one bucket and one potato, and I put one potato in a bucket with dirt,
One plus
when
one.
couple of days go by, when a couple of months go by, am I going to pull out one potato from this one bucket? You
Yep.
understand what I'm saying? So they learn different fundamentals of real life math and stationary math. You know, stationary math is on pen and paper. That's stationary math, you know? But when you get into real life math, it fundamentally changes, you know, because you can't guarantee that you're gonna get 5 crops out of one. You're gonna get. You don't know. It's a variable. You plant one seed. How many is it gonna produce?
Right.
Well, it may be dependent on how much water, how much sunlight, and it still might not
This
produce
nigga
the same
spitting.
anything. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta teach them. You know, and I'm done with mumble rap. I don't want to go back to mumble rap. Schools is closed. We should be canceling mumble rap. You know what I'm saying? If you can't read, I don't want to hear you rapping nobody else's song. You ain't singing another song until you can read this word. We ain't doing none of that.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga spitting, yo.
We
This
ain't
nigga,
doing none
Love
of
it.
that.
this nigga inspiring
The,
right now. This nigga inspiring minds right now.
the
Light
teachers
and
can't take your
illumination.
phone. The teachers can't take your phone, but I'm gonna burn that bitch up. I'm gonna throw it in the trash
That's a
can. You ain't
fact.
never gonna get it back. You better sit your tail down. Oh, you crying because you can't play the game? Watch me throw the game out the window. What you
You
gonna play
heard me
tomorrow
say
then?
that. You guys hear me say that all the time. I will throw it out the second story window and not give a shit.
But the teacher can't do that. See, that's the
Exactly.
problem. So hopefully, when school goes back, they'll be more lenient on the teachers. The parents will be more lenient on the teachers because they gonna have to deal with their seeds that they sending off to other people that they will reluctantly allow control over.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you send them out there, you telling the teacher, don't you do this, don't you do that. You need to be telling your kid, don't you do this and don't you do that.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So when they stuck at the house, then the parents are gonna realize what the teachers got to deal with, and then maybe they're gonna be more lenient with the teacher's disciplinary actions when the child feels like my mama said you can't do this, so I'm gonna behave outlandishly so I can go home and tell my mom that you is this way to me because you ain't allowed to be this way to me, and
Mm-hmm.
holding the teachers hostage.
Damn.
Yep.
That's some real shit.
So schools being closed is a great thing. If the
I
parents
think
don't
it's
take advantage of it, shame on the parent. Shame on you for not
exact.
taking a opportunity to give them real life things. Son,
That's a
don't throw
fact.
that glass bottle in the trash can. We may need it. Dad, I don't have no juice in it. I'm gonna throw it in the trash can. Why can't I keep the glass bottle? Because it's glass, son. It's glass. It's a container. Do you know what a container is? And then you can teach them little things of what a container is and why it's good to have containers and what are good
Mm-hmm.
containers and what are bad containers. There's so many life lessons that you're gonna learn that the school ain't gonna teach you.
Enlighten. What was I teaching my kids yesterday while you were on IG with me when we were going for our walk? What were some of the things I was telling them?
You was telling them you ain't got to worry as long as I'm around. You safe. You ain't got to worry. You see this right here. You good. So we good. So stay close though to Mama Bear,
Stay
because
close
Mama
to
Bear
me.
tearing things up. That's what you was teaching them.
Stay close. Follow my lead. Follow my lead.
Yo,
You guys
NRG, I
can't
need
lead.
some of that
Yeah, follow
soup.
my lead.
Energy Day Moon. I need some of that chicken tortilla soup,
And
man.
I explained why it was
I'm
important for
hungry.
them to follow my lead.
Yeah. Now I feel like it's a great
I'm on the
thing.
brewski right now, so go ahead, like.
DM3, what you got to say about the topic right now?
I think that you're dropping many jewels on the people's heads. Hopefully, they are listening, paying attention to what's
X.
really. Because you know what this is? This is like a test run for people to start to really use their skills as a parent. You know, you
Mm-hmm.
could be more than a mother by name. You could be more than a father by name. You can start to
Mm-hmm.
show children what to do physically, you know, instead of always saying, do this, do that. No, you can see what
No,
they're
I was
doing
telling them,
and you can help them change whatever lacking they have if you're able to do so.
NRG Day Moon, she said
there's a lot of
well,
ignorant
I guess
parents.
she's asking enlighten pretty much. She's asking you, have you been to the hood? It start with the parents. She's not in a disrespectful way. She just said, has you been in the hood? Because in the hood, it start with the parents. Homeschooling shouldn't just be starting. It's a lot of ignorant moms out there. And
Man, I deal with moms. I guess Day Moon doesn't know that I deal with moms and I deal with hoods.
Hold on, I'm saying she didn't mean it in a disrespectful way. She's just like, it's like her, like, she's pretty much giving, like, like, all right, we like light illumination. You spitting, but she probably, like, trying to get specifically to a certain demographic. You know what I'm saying, bro? Pretty much the single black mother that's young. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
So she said that it sounds great, but have you been to the hood? It starts with the parents. Homeschooling shouldn't just be starting. There's a lot of ignorant moms out there.
I was just saying, I'm not asking him. It's where I teach. So
Yeah.
she's saying she's a teacher. So, go ahead.
So it just got real for everybody really, really quick. Parents are being forced to be actual parents. They don't have a choice. They can't go to work. They have to be home. There's no clubs open. They have to be home. So now they're being forced to figure out and really get to know their children.
Well, over here, they kind of blessed though, right? Because I deal with a whole lot of people from the hood, man. Mosby Court, Creighton Court. Like, I go and I pick up in the hood. I go to the hood. I got grandma saying, "Hey, is it safe over there for you to go pick up?" Like, I be in the hood all the time. I stay in the hood. That's where I be at. You know what I'm saying? I deal with the hood moms and the hood dads, if you want to call them hood moms and hood dads.
She's saying she wasn't asking questions. She was just, talking about her experience. That's my bad.
Right.
That's my bad. My fault. My fault.
Yeah, it's just basically just because parents don't know how to be parents. You know what I'm saying? A lot of parents.
And that's the thing. That's how I'm waiting to have kids, because honestly, when you a parent, it's like you have another layer of responsibility. It's like, all right, even when you see a kid might just be a fucking douchebag. You might look at that. But I mean, a kid can't really be a douchebag. But you know what I'm saying? Like a kid can be like, a little devil, a little devil and shit. You be like, why is this kid sticking their tongue out at me? Like, but you gotta realize this is a kid. Their brains aren't fully developed.
Nah, that's not no excuse. Let me tell you the truth, because I deal with them from birth. You know what I'm saying? From birth, a bunch of them, plethora. You know what I'm saying? It's not no excuse. These kids learn you, and they get away with you allow them to get away with.
Not every child has an enlightened illumination in their corner.
I'll be
not
back.
Every child has a Mei Ling in their corner. Thankfully that for the ones that do have us in their corners. But there's a lot of kids out there that don't have people like us in their corner.
No, that's not what I was saying. What I was saying is, in the study of children, even from a baby as an infant, not even able to talk. Hey, mute yourself real quick, Airflow.
Mute out.
What's up, Airflow? All right, even as a baby, as an infant, they learn how to manipulate the system, right?
Yep.
Because now, as a parent, you got to figure out why are they crying,
Crying. Yep.
right? So when they see you starting to scramble every time they cry, they might cry more often.
Yep.
Because they see you scrambling, and then they get a handle, and then when they start being able to talk a little bit, and then they see how your interactions is and what you start laughing at, and if you laugh at something, they're gonna do it more because they want that interaction, they want that reaction again. So they study you as you try to study them, as you try to, because it's a co-partnership. Raising a kid is a co-partnership because you learning the child and the child is learning you. But most of the time, the child is trying to find a way to get over to get what the child wants. And that's how it got to the point that the teachers is getting ran over by the children and the parents are defending the kid, even if the child is wrong, because the child grew up learning. I mean, it's a natural instinct to be a mass manipulator. Children are mass manipulators. You know, you can tell them no, you can't have it. They'll turn around and walk to the daddy or the grandma or the pappy and say, "Can I have it?" And then they give it to them. And then when you go to discipline them, the grandma or somebody else like, "Yo, what's wrong? I gave it to him. I told them no." Well, I didn't know, but they knew.
Yeah. That's why it's very important. It's very important that as parents, you are parenting your child. You are training your child. You are teaching your child how to behave so that they're not trying to teach you how to treat them. You know, so it is your job, definitely knowing as a parent, do your job. Your job is to teach your child, you know?
That's a whole fact.
It's definitely that. And now is the time to teach them about conservation, right? We got another whole topic. I don't want to go into that topic because we're going to touch it later on. But throwing away things that absolutely don't need to be thrown away and can be utilized as a different, like, this is a problem that I've dealt with in adults, not even just children, but in adults. If it's not labeled to be a item, they won't use it in any other way other than how it is described. Right? But this is the time period to teach the children while they're out of school that even though they label it as this, it can also be used as this. And then it can also be used as this. Like this bottle you are throwing away, we can plant something in. Something can grow and fully grow inside this bottle because the bottle is big enough for the roots to grow in. Or we can store other things in it. We can turn it into a candle because it's glass. It's good because it's glass, so we can make a candle out of it. Or the glass turns into like 20 different things, and now their mind is blown. Like, I just thought I was supposed to get Snapple out of it. You understand what I'm saying? So we got to learn to be resourceful, to teach them how to be resourceful, what to throw away, what to not throw away, and when to throw it away, or how to recycle it. So that way we don't have to keep replacing the thing that we already had. Because like what we talked about earlier, we are consumers. We are created to be consumers by our monetary status. You know what I'm saying? So we are consuming and throwing away valuable things. And then we get more of the thing that we just threw away, and then we re-throw it away. And then when we need it, we're bugging out because the shelves ain't got it no more, but we had it in our hands and we was like, it ain't worth nothing.
Because illumination, you know what? By what you're saying, that teaches people how to be survivors, you know? Like if you teach a child the things that you're telling everyone, that child grows up and learns all these things. When they're an adult and they get into a situation, they won't go crazy because they'll remember what illumination taught them and they'll become a situation, which is a great thing.
Great thing.
And that's what the parents are supposed to teach them, the real life things. I know we got multiplication, we got division, we got French, Spain, Italy, we got Euro, we got francs, we got denarii, we got all kinds of different things out here. But what's important right now is this. We can cover these topics in a little. You know, we'll cover some math, we'll cover some social studies, we'll cover some science, we'll cover some English. But right now, what we're going to cover is what's pertinent to our situation. We don't
Nice.
have to eat a lot. You don't have to eat till you full. We not eating till we full right now, baby. I'm sorry. I love you. I know you want to eat some more, but you had enough. And you're going to learn to understand that you have had enough until next time you need to eat. And then you'll realize that you didn't overeat and then you got energy because you didn't glutton yourself. And you ate just enough that you have power that you can use versus power that's been abused, and then you're going to sleep from the itis that you can't utilize no more, and then you're getting fat because you didn't use no energy that you consumed, and the only reason you ate was to use the energy. There's no reason to eat if you're not going to use the energy that's supplied by the food.
Definitely.
So, you know, I hope a lot of parents are tuning in. I hope people share this podcast. Share this podcast. We got more topics that we're going to cover throughout this whole situation. Like it, comment, share. Tell everybody they need to tune in because we're going to talk about things that nobody else is going to talk about. We're going to put you on to the game, and then you're going to start seeing commercials about things that we talked about. Even if you didn't know, you're going to see it. Like I talked about growing plants and stuff. All I see now on YouTube popping up on my, I didn't even look it up. I didn't even go search it. Now all I see is about gardening. Gardening just popping up. I talked about it. I put out a video, and then they just flooded my YouTube with gardening. You understand what I'm saying? And then people talking about the same thing I just said. Like it's a brand new video that got millions of views, but it's exactly word for word what I just said. You know what I mean? But we need to get our kids prepped for real life. It's good to have a job, but I don't teach my kids, any of the kids. Like I work with an abundance of kids still to this day, even though they shut down all kinds of facilities where you can have a congregation of people, I still interact with children and I teach them these different things. You got to learn how to make power. You got to know what power is. There's different forms of power. You got heat, you got electricity, you have abundance of power. Even cold is a power. Freezing is a power. You got to learn these different powers, right? You got to learn their usages. You got to learn the terms, the words, how to ask, how to request something, how to apologize. When the kids say they sorry, I tell them I know you are, but now apologize. Telling somebody you sorry is not an apology. We all know you sorry, but go ahead and apologize.
Right.
So they learn that the words actually have a meaning. To tell somebody that you're sorry doesn't mean that you apologize to them. It's what I teach them.
You're not holding
I'm
yourself
sorry.
accountable.
Huh?
Holding yourself accountable.
Right. Just telling them I'm sorry, that's not no apology. We don't accept sorry over here. I mean, when you say you're sorry, every time you say you're sorry, I'm going to say, I know you are. So keep saying that you're sorry, I'm going to say, I know you are.
Right.
Or you can apologize correctly.
Right.
And then in the apology, you have to announce what you're apologizing for. That's how the apology works. You have to say, I apologize. And then you have to tell them what action you're going to take after that. I'm not going to do it again. So these are the things I think that even parents may need to get. They have the time to develop these things. That I believe that every adult at one time in their life have come across information that right now they have time for it to come back to them. I believe everybody has had some information and put it into them that they can pass along to the children that's not in school, other than the violent music, other than the drama on the TV, other than like this is not the time to let the children be babysat or raised by the TV.
Mm-hmm. That's a fact.
I got cable. I only got cable because they told me that to make my internet cheaper. But I haven't had cable for real for like the last 5, 7, maybe 10 years. I don't watch TV like that
Yeah, I feel
because
that.
it's only bad things. They only fill you with pain, sorrow, misery,
I
right?
cut
And,
I cut
and it,
watching TV out a couple years ago, but I stopped paying cable. Like I cut cable out completely a year ago when I moved into this place.
so right now, because the schools is closed, we need the biggest thing that we got to teach our kids is appreciation and how to be an appreciator. I think that's the biggest thing. Appreciation and how to be an appreciator, right? Because what I noticed, some of the biggest complainants in the world are children,
Yep.
outside of women, but you know, the children. You know, I had to slip that in there. I'm sorry. But the children are really big complainers. I don't want to eat that. Why is it? Can I have it? And whining, complaining, and whining.
Yep.
This is not the time period to raise crying, whining children that's complaining about everything that they don't like.
Hey, Illumination, got to step in. Got to step in on that one point you just said.
Go ahead.
Now you joked about it that the women also, but you got to remember we're talking about teaching and raising, right?
Right.
The majority of our children today are being raised by ladies. It's no disrespect to the ladies, but if I was raised by a heavyweight boxer, I would learn how to box because that's what I see him do all the time. So as a young man being raised by a single woman, if I see her complaining a lot or yelling a lot or screaming a lot, then I would think that's something that's normal. That's why I say not blaming the ladies, I blame the men. Men need to step up and start acting like fathers and start acting like men that belong in the household because your young man or your young daughter needs your example also. That way you don't
Fact.
get a complainer. Because men, by nature, we think logically. You know, logically, not emotionally. And we're talking about men who act like men, not men who act like whatever these guys we got today. You know,
Right.
so I just wanted to add that part. You continue.
Nah, you hit that nail right on the head. On the head. And the worst part is that it's a multiplier effect because now you got the TV that just bring problem after problem after problem. And the reason it's so successful is because it makes you feel better about your life and about your problems. You know what I'm saying? So they sell you problem after problem through the television, and it makes you feel better about your life that you're not going through, you know, what Ridge or any other kind of person, you know, Days of Our Lives, or people don't understand. They call them series now. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen. They call them a series, but it's just a soap opera confirmed to be a series. You know what I'm saying? It's just a soap opera. One problem leading to another. They call a cliffhanger because it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? If you're not hanging off of a cliff, then you good, right? If you're hanging off of a cliff, it's a problem.
Illumination, let me add again to what you're saying. The soap opera is just the beginning. What's really crazy today is all this love and hip hop and all these lives of Hollywood and all this nonsense that they see on TV, cats yelling and screaming and fighting each other all day. And this is what the kids are looking at. So the kids see this and say, "Oh, this is how I'm supposed to behave." No, that's not supposed to behave. That's why, as a parent, you got to tell your kids, "Now, don't watch no stuff like that. You need to watch things that's going to educate your mind, you know, not things that make you seem like a knucklehead when you're out in the streets."
And it starts with the parents turning off these cable bills and taking away these shows, their ability to watch the shows, and taking it away from the parents also because they're also enthralled in these shows.
Let me give y'all an example of like one thing that I did with my kids growing up. My sons used to love watching WWE, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I would say, hey, that's phony, that's fake, don't watch that. So I made them start watching the UFC. So with them watching the UFC, they watch actual real fighters, learn how to really fight and really know how to certain moves. So when my son goes to school, he can't beat somebody up with his fist. So what he does, he puts people in certain holes and things like that. So he's learning something from something that's real, not something fake. Just a little example of like what I've done with my kids.
That's
And
dope.
you know what they do though? They confuse you by calling it the real. They throw the real in front of it, and they confuse the people because that's not how a housewife's supposed to be. I don't want a housewife like that. That's not how I want my housewife to be. Or the husband. That's not how the woman would want their husband to be. That's like who needs the drama. That's not entertaining.
Yeah.
You know what? It is. Because nobody understands what the word entertaining means. You know what I'm saying? So they being captured.
Illumination.
Because you're captured.
Yeah. Illumination. Check this out. The point you just made, entertaining, right? A fool is always entertaining. If you think about it, when King, what did he have? He had a jester's court. He told the fool to come out there and entertain the people. So people don't understand when it's foolishness and it's entertaining, it must not be something you should be really looking at if it's that entertaining, you know?
Right. 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 So I really believe right now is a good time, but it's up to the adults. Because eventually, see what they're doing right now, though, this is the problem with the kids not going to school. Is they're closing the community down. Now, that's what the biggest problem with the school being closed is that the community itself is closed. Because the kids, I mean, over here in my neighborhood, the kids are still playing with the other kids and stuff. But I don't know how other neighborhoods are, you know what I mean? But maybe you can get back into that. Like, I don't know if anybody had a problem with, like me, I'm grown now. I never had a problem with the street and getting whipped by my neighbor down the street before I got home. Something that I did that I knew was wrong.
You're definitely right on that one, Illumination.
They didn't have to care about the situation, but they cared enough to be like, now, that pen before you even get on. Your mom, I know you can see your dad, but look, you're gonna see me first, and just remember this, because next time you're gonna see me again, and then you still gonna have to see your mom, and then you still gonna have to see your dad.
I find a double-edged sword. I find a double-edged sword
because that creates a thought process.
If y'all can hear me,
we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I find a double-edged sword with that. I think that's how Catholic priests and, like, you know, African Bambaataa situations was able to come about as well. I mean, there is some people that's, like, you know, good people. Like, for instance, I know if I discipline somebody else's child, you know what I'm saying, I'm not a fucking child rapist or child attracted to children. So I know if I ever done so, it's because I really give a fuck. While, you know, there's other people that, you know what I'm saying? Like an African Bambaataa or Catholic priest situation where they were allowed to discipline other people's kids.
I get you.
I was going to say.
But used as a form of manipulation to sexually gratify themselves.
I wanted to jump into what you just said, YMF. That's why it's very important that you have communication with your neighbor. Like if you, like say, Illumination was my next door neighbor. If me and him talk to each other on a regular basis and we know each other like that, and we have sons, then I have a relationship with him to understand who he is as a man, to know that he's not going to be no crazy dude doing things that Bambaataa did to kids or priest did to kids.
Absolutely. But
facts.
People
That's
can manipulate parents. People manipulate parents as well, though, because some parents, like what we was talking about with, all right, before we even had this live right here, DM3, I was telling you about a guy that I know from your state that was messing with some women from my state, Philadelphia specifically, and he was getting played. He said, "Yeah, man, when you messing with them up north women, you gotta be a little bit faster." The same thing with anybody else. Some people that's just con artists, and anybody Enlighten. You like to say this a lot, Enlighten. If you got the uniform, you can play the fucking part. You got the speech pattern, you can play the fucking part. And that's one thing that can catch people off guard. You can be trusting to somebody because they have an authoritative title, or they just have a title that seems to have some type of worthy of respect. And then, they got you out of they got you by the balls, or not really by the balls, but you put faith into it. It's just the same thing with the U.S. digital dollar. Go ahead, bro.
But you know what though? That comes along with the TV still being in existence, though, right? With the TV being a mass manipulator as it is, these kids, which are now adults, have been already programmed to be mass manipulators in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the trust is off in the community.
I agree with you on that.
In the community.
I agree with you on that, but I think it's before the television, though. It's just I'm talking about just off the community, because before the television, everyone was able to interact with each other. You know how towns was really formed. You know how tribes was really formed. Tribes aren't really just people with one blood type, or people. They did tribes, unlike people, like what many people think. Tribes did recruit people that was outsiders. Tribes did recruit people that was outsiders. You know how? Because somebody convinced them that they wanted to be a part of them. Somebody convinced them that they was trustworthy. And that's how community came about. That's how society came about. That's how countries came about. We convinced each other. We bartered with each other. We socialized with each other. And that's how we all became one people.
I would say I'm going to add into what you're saying. I would put it on a simpler level. It's like you as a child when you first started school, right? You ain't had no friends. You didn't know nobody. But when you stepped on that school yard or wherever it was, you met somebody. And you and that person build some type of relationship if you two were clicking with each other. Then now when you two are together, y'all find another friend and you click on to him. And then that's how you build your circle. And it's the same way as you're saying a tribe or a village did the same thing. It started with one person or one family, and they built it by adding more people to the family.
Right. Let me read this article real quick because it kind of coincides with what we're saying right here, and I had this pulled up from the beginning of the stream. We almost an hour in. Damn, wow. I didn't realize almost an hour in. But let me put it up on the screen for the people. All right, so school closings due to COVID-19 present potential for increased risk of child exploitation. Increased risk of child exploitation. Wow. Due to school closings as a result of COVID-19, children will potentially have an increased online presence and or be in a position that puts them at an inadvertent risk. Due to this newly developing environment, the FBI is seeking to warn parents, educators, caregivers, and children about the dangers of online sexual exploitation and signs of child abuse. Online sexual exploitation comes in many forms. Individuals may coerce victims into providing sexually explicit images or videos of themselves, often in compliance with offenders' threats to post the images publicly. Sending images to victim, friends, and family. That sounds like a thought that somebody got. But let me be serious though. Other offenders may make casual contact with children online, gain their trust, and introduce sexual conversation that increases in egregiousness over time. Ultimately, this activity may result in maintaining an online relationship that includes sexual conversation and exchange of illicit images to eventually physically meeting the child in person. I'm pretty sure we all understand this at this point. In order for the victimization to stop, children typically have to come forward. Abuse can occur offline through direct contact with another individual. During these uncertain conditions, where time with other adults and caregivers has increased immensely, parents and guardians should communicate with their children about appropriate contact with adults and watch for any changes in behavior, including an increase in nightmares, withdrawn behavior, angry outbursts, anxiety, depression, not wanting to be left alone with an individual, and sexual knowledge. And then they give
Hey, but look, you know what that
recommendations.
says? It says that the parents ain't worth nothing. Is what they saying, that the parents ain't worth nothing. They not involved in their kids' life at all. Is what they saying. The kids is just running rampant, and then they in quarantine, and they meeting with people in quarantine. Like, I can't even talk to my mom inside the house, but my kid is going other places. It doesn't even make sense. It's still part of fear mongering, right? I feel like that's still a part of fear mongering. If I can't even talk to my mom inside her house, these people ain't letting their kids go but so far off the block. Even if they even allowed on the block, you might be able to just sit on the stoop.
I was
Like,
gonna
you can't get
add.
off the stoop.
I was gonna add illumination that the fact of is, if people listen to the earlier part of this podcast, you was explaining to people that this is the job of the parent. You have to teach, and the thing that YMS is talking about is parents have to talk to their children about predators. You must speak to your kid and let them understand what these men or women want from you besides playing with you. You know, and when a child understands that, they are more aware of a predator coming after them. But if you don't teach your children about these things, then they're just going to be a prey to them. So, like Illumination said earlier, your job as a parent is to teach your kid more than ABC. It's a lot of stuff that needs to be taught, and that's one of them.
Facts.
Facts.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I feel like they fear mongering, and then what they're doing is they're perpetuating the parent. You know, in some extent, it seems like they're trying to tell them to get involved, but nobody,
Illumination, you went out. It made you go wow or something. Yeah, you went out, bro. I can hear you, but when you talking, can't hear you. Like, I can hear you when you say them 2 words. 3 words? Can you hear me? 4 words. I'm a little lit, y'all. You know, I got the bar up and shit. Got the drink right here. Illumination, just
now we good, right?
Yeah, we good now.
All right. Now, what I was saying is, they basically trying to give the parents, it's like a reverse psychology. What I noticed that the government does the most is reverse psychology. It's reverse psychology. And it's creating a fear. You don't need to implant any more fear in the household than it is right now. It's enough fear in the household. You don't have to build on it. Like I said before, teach your children that fear lowers your immune system. Fear lowers your immune system. If you don't want it, then don't think about it. If you don't want it, then don't think about it.
Just stress.
Why are you thinking
Stress
about
in
it?
general. Stress in general lowers your immune system. So, like, fear is a form of stress. Just stress lowers your immune system. So try not to be too stressful. Just try to think positive thoughts and
but that's
be productive. Be productive.
Look, bro, I'm with you, but fear is not a part of stress. Stress is a part of fear. Fear is the parent. Fear is the parent of stress. Because why are you stressing if you're not afraid?
But stress in general, it lowers your immune system, though. That's the point I was trying to make.
Fear.
I don't care. I'm not saying what's underneath.
Fear.
But I'm not saying what's underneath what. I'm just saying, like, you know, stress lowers the immune system. We all agree here, right? Like, stress is.
Yeah. Right. I'm just
that's
letting
what
you
I
know
was
that
trying to
stress
make.
is.
Hey, you better informed than me
right.
on that. You better informed than me than that. I'm not saying I'm better informed than you. I just felt like, you know, I always heard that stress was what lowers, and you know, the cortisol levels and shit like that, increased cortisol levels, and that's what, like, you know, lowers your immune system. Just like if you was in the fight or flight, if you get into any fights, any conflict, that will lower your immune system, like physical conflict with somebody, because your adrenaline start pumping up,
Mhm.
which will fuck with the cortisol levels, which will fuck with your immune system. So try not to get into any fights as well. Try to be more diplomatic at this time.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely.
And like our brother Bruce Lee used to say, if you do get into any kind of altercation,
You
stay
like water?
calm, be relaxed.
Yeah.
That way your mind is together and your immune system will be up because you're not angry.
Because you're not fearful.
Fear
Exactly.
is
I
forget
realize we
everything
got
and
ill
run, or
flow.
face everything and rise.
We got ill flow spitters in here. And what's your thoughts on this, dog?
Shit, cooler, cooler,
Yeah,
cooler,
we
man.
on to the next topic.
I really, you know what I'm saying? Didn't really hear too much, man, because I was in the masjid just doing my prayers just now. But the only thing I heard was about kids and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Pertaining to like how to raise them. That's what y'all was talking about, right?
Yeah, what parents should
No,
be
pretty
doing right
much.
now
No,
during
we was
this
talking about the
time.
schools.
Well, honestly, we could go to the next topic. We really talking about social distancing here. Is it a benefit, or is it, like, social? Like
How is
I
it
was saying
affecting
this in the before we went live, or I think I went on the other live we had before we went live on this. DM3 Enlightened Illumination. They was talking about this, especially DM3. His last blog. Go check out DM3. Go subscribe to him. He was saying some real shit. Social media really isolated everyone pretty much. We are not really engaging with each other on a personal level anymore. And like a light illumination was put in specifically, you don't know your neighbor.
right?
You don't really know your
Yeah,
neighbor anymore.
yeah. So this is
You
basically
You,
don't.
causing
You,
people. So this is basically causing people to actually know your neighbor. You know what I'm saying? The stuff that's going on right now. You mean?
do you
like
think that when
basically,
they
is
introduced
a
the
is a
internet,
benefit? Is we getting some type of benefit from the social distancing? You know what I'm saying? What they're instructing us to do, to distance yourself socially. Are we getting some type of benefit from it, or no? Is it waking
Um,
people up, or
I
no?
think
Is
they
it
were preparing us for this a long time ago when they brought the internet around.
damn,
Now
damn, man.
everybody's doing everything on the internet. Everything is being done on the internet.
Yeah, everything's being done on the internet. So them
So were
telling
they
us to stay
prepping
away
that
from
was
people.
was
Huh?
that the was that one of the stages of them prepping us for this whole new world order? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do believe that they've been prepping us for this. A lot of people don't believe the conspiracies and the stuff that people been saying, all these years. But now that it's coming to light, it's like a lot of people are understanding that this stuff is real. It's not a game. So
Hmm.
when it comes to the social distancing, it's an advantage and it's a disadvantage. As Muslims in my religion, we're not really supposed to be like interacting with folks like that. We are, but we're not. You know what I'm saying? When I say we are, it's cool to be friendly and stuff, but we're not supposed to be hugging on people every day, hugging and touching hands and all that. You're not really supposed to even be doing that. So, it's crazy that this thing has happened because it's making people follow the laws of Islam unknowingly to a certain degree. You know what I'm saying? So, this is it's an advantage and a disadvantage. I mean, people are forced to be at the crib with their families all day when they would normally be at work. So that could be good or bad. You could bond with your family, or you could be irritated by your family. You know what I'm saying? It's an advantage and it's a disadvantage with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep. So
There's a lot going on. It's been getting really quick for everybody. And I think if somebody's eyes aren't open during these times, they're complete fools right now.
yeah, yeah. I mean, right now is the time where you're supposed to just bond with your family and make plans for things to get worse, not better. You know what I'm saying? If it's gonna get better, cool. But if it's gonna get worse, then you're not prepared. you know, if you're not prepared, then it could be bad. You know what I'm saying? But you never know what the these Illuminati people. You never know what the hell they got going on, man. You know, I mean, it's always something going on, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Airflow,
What's up?
this is what I say. You teach them that it's always going to get better if you know how.
Yo, hold on, 1 second, right quick. Hold on. It's popping.
All right, so why you doing that? Let me read this article real quick. The theory on social distancing, real fast.
Let me get
I'll put it on the
Can you
screen.
mute out,
How
Ilflo?
much? Oh yeah, my bad, Joe.
All right,
Hold
so
on. Why not? Before you read
social
it, because you can read
distance.
it. Let me say this real quick, because I thought he was going to say something. He's not older food. I was going to say, teach them. This is how it can get better. That's the mission of the parent, is how to make it better. Your job as a parent to make it, I don't care how bad they try to make it, this is how you make it better. This is my job to educate you. This is what they're not going to teach you in school of how to make it better. They teach you how to do it a different way of somebody else's way, maybe. I don't know what they really teach you, I guess, to work for someone. Maybe they teach you how to own a business now. Maybe they don't. I don't know what they're teaching you right now. Who's reading you mommy, daddy books right now? So many different discussions. I understand what they're speaking. At the same time, you teach them how to make it better. You want another cup? You want to make sure that you have another cup? This has a lid on it. You know what a lid is? It's better, right? Instead of throwing a bottle away, you got another bottle, you can just pour water in. If you don't know, if the water ain't getting good, it's water getting bad. Well, let's show them how to make it better then. It's your job as a parent now. This is the stimulus package that you get in. The stimulus package that you get in right now is all you up. What you said again? Like I said, what is known produce. Can you produce a better? Okay, we'll give you the worst. Can you make it better? It's like a battery. If you're not a part of the battery system, okay, you in the system and the system says bad. And then you can't take that bad and get the positive, then you don't have that battery, because without that battery, the creation wouldn't be in existence from created things. So you're an innovator, you're a designer, developer, all the different titles that you know is produced. Because even if you create it, if you're not releasing it, so I understand all that all together, but you gotta teach them better. So you can't keep teaching them. Oh, it's getting bad out here now. Oh, what we gonna do? Oh, look at the news, y'all. That's on crazy. What we gonna do?
You adjust,
Oh
pivot, and
man,
continue
y'all
on.
getting lazy, man. What we gonna do?
You gotta adjust, pivot, and continue on.
And make some new moves. And
Mm-hmm.
then it be real and you see what you grew. If you do what you're supposed to do, no laughing at do. But you use that. Why you flush it down the toilet? We got plants outside. Renew. Come on. You ain't eating right? You ain't feeding right. We gotta keep it, right? Do you see the light? They don't see it, right? So I left it on the table for them. Hopefully at night they might be eating right. Sometimes you
Come
can
on.
be similar, sometimes you don't have to be alike. They like
Bar.
to get the poison and neglect the tree of life. I'm like, yo, what you seek in life? I think they all in prison now. They ain't know that the fear had them prison bound. They don't listen now. I mean, NOUN. Real BRC. I'm trying to lift them up, even if they put it down. We gotta say, this is how we make it better. Not for the cheddar, but the cheddar come from how we milking now. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Damn it, man.
Put the people in the brain and the mind state to do it daily, right? So how many rights we taking? I guess it's like New Jersey, but no left in the day be like 24 hours. I guess the volts be many more power. I'll leave it in 12 just to start the car up. We can go see the tower, get it on wheels. How do we build? I guess it came from a problem. They see a problem, I see an equation, I'm solving them. I know the solving been the place that you clean it, but you clean it too often, man. They ain't listening. They keep talking, man. I'm like, why I gotta raise my voice? Why I gotta stop barking, man? You don't see it's a doggy dog world. It's time to see
And
the
their
dog in
brains
them.
and their brains
Finish
are starving.
him.
And their brains are starving. Fuck. That's deep.
I get the black
Look,
girls dick and the white girls cock.
but right now they said the corona out here and it's on ice and rock. They said that's not the drink to cop. So the people watch. Citizen on patrol, but they didn't get the dots. I guess now they sending them acid. You can't even find bleach or ammonia. It really is tragic. I guess they over cleaning for a season, but they ain't see it's elastic. It could be anything. Forget school, skip it, no receiving scholastics. I'm just trying to see them gymnastics, like flip it. If you get a seed, you could dig it. Put it down. It's a noun, specific. It could be watermelon, it could be onions, it could be some spinach. But then it reproduces itself and then it's a couple of more in it. They said that energy comes from nothing, but I see some more in it. Yeah. They say the boy timid. I shouldn't even speak no
Grab
more.
your weed, cause you're now tuned in.
All right, so let me read this joint on social
Article.
distancing. Yeah, it says some very damn social distance exists in all societies is a perceived construct that is different for each individual. Now, this must be before this whole situation. My bad, y'all. My bad.
That's
Let me
okay.
get back on Google. All right, but on Google, social distance refers to the level of acceptance people have of others outside their own social group or class. This level of acceptance is defined by their general feelings towards others and the amount of social interaction they have with people whose characters are outside their social norm. So, is this social distancing already exists pretty much?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was gonna add my 2 cents to the social distancing thing that you were saying.
Right.
Like YMS said earlier, I do got a video on this little cheap plug, but people don't understand. You know, we was talking about how your immune system goes down. Do you guys know that if you cuddle with somebody, that builds your immune system? You know, things that they don't let people know. You know, you being happy and smiling, being in a
That's
good relationship keeps
yep.
your immune system up.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Diplomacy.
Tree
You know,
hugging.
try to be more diplomatic instead of more violent or whatever. Or
With more resolve instead of the chaos and arguing.
True. And also being very happy and smile laughing, that also builds it up.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we can't be like trying to kill each other or pretty much paint each other negatively. Gotta be trying to be diplomatic.
And rely on each other, like lean on each other to make it through.
And not be instilled with fear through the
Exactly.
separation process, not to have that as a contingency.
Yep. Stop being greedy, folks.
And so
So
all them is out there trying to get
what's the next topic? You know what the next topic is, YMF. What's the next one? We did that one, we go on to the next.
Social distancing. That was the next topic. I don't have any other
Okay.
topic. I mean, it's about to be an hour and a half anyway right now, so we could end it here.
No, but the social distancing and social dissonance is like, it leads into the hoarding. Like, is that a great way? Is that a mind state that is beneficial in the overall game? that's kind of being paid at this time period. So when you separate and then you decreasing the jobs and the individuals don't reproduce, you know, that manufacturing process to say we're gonna keep it alive. Over here we're gonna need. And if we need to make it ourselves, we'll have to. We'll figure out a way. I mean, it's not gonna be a problem over here. You say it's a problem, well, we'll figure it out and do what it takes to make it not. And then I'm good. What you mean? I don't understand. Just make it, learn it, figure it out. And then you change it. So that problem doesn't see. The real epidemic is the news that's being passed around that's creating extortion. So they passed the law to stop extortion of hand sanitizers and other byproducts that could be gouged in the price due to relevancy of not occupying shelf space and not being available to people to be like, yeah. What kind did you say again? So they gouging the prices because people hoarding. And then inflation gonna come on a byproduct of a full price across the board.
They're
Well,
just
at
trying to
this
get, like we were saying in the last live, man. They going, they're gonna get that digital currency going. You know what I mean? Once people start dying and hungry, stomachs start hitting and shit.
But it ain't gotta be like that. The whole thing is, why would you be hungry if the seeds to give you more seeds to plant more seeds?
Yeah, I'm saying you and DM3 was preaching on that real shit. Bringing people together, especially over state lines. Because DM3 was talking about state lines. You was talking about the community, like in your backyard. You know what I'm saying? He's saying over state lines, we connected over the internet. We gotta be a little bit more productive over, you know what I'm saying, with the internet. We doing shit that's just giving you instant gratification. Where you feel like you don't even have to meet up with anybody. Connect with
That's why it's very important that we do not lose the fact that you do need the human beings need to together and build, not always thinking that me jumping on the phone is really communication. True communication is me holding your hand and looking in your eyes and talking to you. You know, this is true communication. You know.
Person-to-person contact.
Grab
Human contacts.
Because I think you guys have heard this before, but you ever heard the thing about the they say if babies are not held when they're little, that they could die. You know, they need that touch of a human being.
Mm. They need that to thrive in order to thrive.
You gotta have some type of feeling of happiness or satisfaction. Somewhere.
Security.
Some euphoric feelings.
Security. A sense of security.
What I was gonna say earlier, jokingly, I was like, well, all the men out here that's listening, if you want a line to give a girl, you just be like, yo, let's hug, let's cuddle together, let's build our immune system.
That's funny.
You gotta put that in there.
See, that's why I'm talking about on the college. See, that's what YMF was talking about. That's what that newsletter was about. That's what that whole newsletter was about.
Yo, subscribe to VM3 ENT. Subscribe to Enlightened Illumination. Subscribe to your mom favorite TRBRC. Subscribe to Ill Flow Spit of Max. And yours truly, Mei Ling, Pretty Flower 2618.
The prettiest flower in.
Thank you.
Right.
Thanks.
And hoarding, though, what is it to you? What do you think about the people
Irresponsibility.
who are hoarding?
I think they're irresponsible.
Because one thing, if we just take lessons from our ancestors, I don't care if you think you're from Africa or you think you're American Indian, the one thing they had in common was they went out and they hunted. And when they bring it home, They ate what they killed. They used the skin to make clothes. They used everything that they had. Went out and used it. They didn't go out and say, "Oh, let me go kill 50 buffalo, or let me go kill 50 lions because I might need them next week." No, they dealt with it then and there, and they continued to build as the days went on.
Right. True.
Because you think about it, if you got 20 pounds of toilet paper in your house, all that paper ain't wipe that ass, you know?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Not really though. Right? It all depends on what you tinkling with. Right? Cause that paper in the right hands will be right. But a whole bunch of
DN3
people
funny
got
as
the
hell.
paper for the wrong reason. It's a bunch of people who got it for the wrong reason.
Let's get it.
Don't know what it's for real.
I'll give y'all points.
Wasting it. You know, they don't really know what it really is. Like why? But the whole thing is, well, it's not being implemented. It's not being implemented.
Hopefully
Look, that's
DN3
what
fight better
it's
than
like.
AJ. Hopefully DN3 got some Deontay Wilder in him.
I carry a 40-pound costume.
Yeah. Nah, that's crazy though. Nah, it's like, man, the thing is, the fear comes in to help. See, that's when the problem actually really manifests. That the fear is in the helpfulness. So when you have like a real concentrate, it turns to a horde, right? And then the fear will make you accumulate but not give because you want to share but you're afraid to.
Right.
I don't know who the hell, yo. I'm
Well,
afraid, yo.
either
Niggas
way,
tripping.
I'm thankful that I have each of you guys to be able to sit down and have a conversation, a logical conversation with, and learn and grow with and from.
But you know what's beautiful about this group here and this podcast? We all coming from a different part of America. Yeah, you know, all of us are from different states, and we're given different views and opinions of what's going on out here. You know,
And do you see how that can just, spread to so many others? You know what I'm saying? Just by us coming together. Like, so many people can learn.
another quote from Bruce Lee: "You drop the pebble into the lake, watch the ripples go all the way around the pond."
Mm.
Be like water.
Nice and wet.
Dog, the water fits the container shape.
I'm just
Whatever you
kidding.
contain the water in, the water fits the container perfect as long as it
Right.
doesn't overflow.
Mm-hmm.
That's what water do.
Yep.
It fits any situation.
Yeah.
Be like water.
Yeah.
Be like water. Nice and wet.
See, that's what YMF was talking about.
Hey, now we know why Bruce. Now we know why Bruce.
I had to break the monotony. Now you guys know I have 6 kids.
And it's
Jesus.
y'all funny.
I got.
YMF over there like, let me read this news article real quick. And today's
All right, I'm gonna stop this. We're gonna talk about.
monotony.
I'm gonna stop this one, man. We need to talk about some battle rap. We're gonna do some battle rap. State of battle rap.
I gotta go downstairs and make some tostadas for these kids.
How long that's gonna take? What is that? How long that gonna take?
Yes.
I don't know. I have to fry the corn tortillas to make the
This is like an
tostadas.
hour.
Yeah, at least.
Baby, you lucky my daughter ain't here. She come to your house to grab them. She know all about that.
She would grab what?
What you cooking? She loves
really?
Spanish food.
Oh shoot! Tell her come on over. I just made an amazing chicken, vegetable, and rice soup yesterday, and then with the leftover chicken today, I'm gonna make chicken tostadas, chicken and bean tostadas.
But I gotta roll out for a little bit, y'all. Man, I gotta keep on
All right,
moving,
y'all.
man.
We stopping this podcast right here. I mean, was able to get the viewpoints and shit done right here.
Another
All
great,
right, y'all.
another.
Tune in. Might go live probably later on. Who knows? We'll see. Shimon Favorite. We got DM3 Entertainment. We got Atlanta Illumination. We got Made Link Lim. Go subscribe to all these social medias and stuff like that. Yeah.
Airflow spitters.
I think I'm going. Oh yeah, Airflow Splitters right here too. I forgot he was on. Hey, look. Go ahead. My bad.
I just said Texas.
TRBRC Texas in the house. Airflow Spitter.
All right, that's what's up, y'all. Look, man, I appreciate y'all coming through. I didn't know what was going on. I thought everything was concluded, but we riding. I would have kept on going. My bad, y'all. So look, y'all like, comment, subscribe. You heard YMF. Shout out everybody, and plus more.
Yeah, man. I might be. I think I'm gonna go live on my channel. So go to your mom favorite, mom stickler, either or. Just go live, do some gaming and shit. You know, quarantine.
Make sure you're
If you're
subscribed to
bored,
everybody.
you can drink and game with me. Also join the TRBRC Discord. That shit is up and live. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk
Turn
your shit.
notification bells on so you can get the notifications when we drop the dope comment and go
Go
live.
follow Dragon's Lair. Go follow Dragon's Lair on Instagram. You know, all right. Ending this. Anybody else got last words? Y'all good?
Yeah, peace out.
Salute to everybody.
Salute. Be well, everybody.
And this is DM3. Peace.
Peace.
Peace, y'all.
Another great,
Salute.
another great podcast, guys.
Subscribe. Yeah.
Yeah.